Welcome to Deliciously Motivated Mindset, hosted by Deborah and Moira. This podcast is designed to help listeners unlock their full potential, both personally and professionally, so they can thrive, not just survive. Deborah and Moira explore how natural tendencies don't always serve individuals and provide insights on how to harness existing strengths. Their goal is to equip listeners with the habits, mindset shifts, and strategies needed for lasting, meaningful change. Finding purpose and fulfillment can be challenging, but this podcast offers expert conversations, practical advice, and valuable tools to help align with a true sense of purpose and create a more fulfilling life. So grab a notebook, open your notes app, and get ready to take in some game-changing insights. Let's dive in.
Welcome, dear listeners. Welcome, dear Deb.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello.
Good evening, afternoon, whatever it is.
Yes.
Here we are with another one of our deliciously motivated mindset conversations. And this one, gosh, I am so excited for this one. This is something that I've actually, it's really interesting because Deb and I always have a wee conversation before we hit record. And pretty much, I would say probably like 94, 95% of the time, the conversation that we have prior is in complete alignment with what the topic is. And we haven't even opened the list to see what it is that we're talking about.
It's
Then we go,
100%
oh,
on point.
look at that.
Yeah.
We're going to talk today about learning to be more resilient by calming your nervous system. Even just saying that, calming your nervous system, just feels so nurturing and soothing. And then, of course, dear listeners, if you've been with us before, you know that we like to start us off by calming our nervous system simply by doing some heart-coherent breathing. So I've already got my hands over my heart. And I encourage you to put one or both, if that feels right for you. And take a really nice deep breath in and sigh it out of your mouth. And now pretend, feel like you're breathing in and out of your heart space. So breathe in, expand your chest. Feel it in your belly, and then breathe out, still maintaining that connection with your heart by having one hand over it. And breathe in and breathe out, allowing yourself to land fully into this moment, into this space, wherever you are. And if it's right for you, if in an environment that you can do so, not if you're driving, just gently close your eyes for a wee moment. And just maybe even set an intention that you get what you need, that some tip or some insight or some inspiration or some story that we share provides the answer that you've been looking for or inspires you to look at things in a different way. Just by coming into your heart space, calming your nervous system by taking a few deep breaths in and out of your heart space. And let's do one more together. Breathing out, and if you did close your eyes, you can open your eyes again and maybe pick up a note-taking device or implement of your choosing, because we want to help you learn to become more resilient. Be more resilient by calming your nervous system. So, my dear one, my dear friend.
Well, we all know tip number one is definitely go back and listen to the heart coherent.
Heart-coherent breathing.
Just
definitely.
Yeah, I think that's essential. But I will actually also say, not one size doesn't fit all with this. I can say this. So the heart coherent absolutely will help, but there may be days that Moira's voice is going to annoy you. I doubt it, but anyway, we're just going to say this. But there may be days so that heart coherent might just not land for you. So the strategies and tips we're going to give today they may work today, but then tomorrow they may not work, some of them. So just pick and choose in
Mm.
your basket what works for you. And also, there's a trust level in here that I'm going to say that even if you feel it doesn't work, you're like, oh, this is ridiculous. This is not working. I haven't got time for this. Da da da. Says me. This is my internal thought.
Da, da, da.
Yeah, da da da. Just know that it is landing at a percentage that you don't often see or feel.
Mm.
So even if you think, oh, this is a crock of whatever, this is not going to work, your body is already going to take it on anyway. But you may not fully see or feel the changes within you. So there's just that level of trust. I just want to get those couple of things out there
And put
before we
trust as a
really.
tip all by itself.
Oh,
Trust
trust
always
is
has
so.
to be,
Yeah.
has to always be.
Well, you got to believe it. So the trust is 100% because if we give you an exercise and you don't believe it, it's not going to land. So
100%.
you actually have to believe that this is going to work.
Mm. You know, this
Yeah.
reminds me, and I've said this on previous episodes. I know I've said it in previous sessions that I do with my clients, is that, you know, when you're sitting listening to something, and I've said this a little bit when we were doing the heart coherence and inviting you to set an intention that you're going to hear what it is you need to hear or receive the guidance that you're looking for. But I don't know about you, but I can listen to presentations or conversations, uh, courses, things of that nature, and I will recognize immediately that the techniques or the wisdom or the suggestions, or practices that go, yep, I'm going to do that. Yes, that
Yeah.
totally aligns with me right here, right now, and so I can take that in and adopt it and cultivate it, whatever.
Yeah.
But there are going to be another layer of tips and ideas that kind of go, I like that. I resonate with it, but it doesn't apply to how I feel right here, right now. So
Yeah.
with those ones, those are the ones that I'm going to make. That's when I actually start making post-it notes, because
Yeah.
it's like that identified with me somewhere, somehow.
But you can't piece the
But
jigsaw puzzle
yeah, it's
together.
not, but it's
Yeah.
not, it doesn't sit for, like I say, with what's going on for me now. Then there's
So it's
the,
like it's
the
like a feeling, isn't it?
yes.
Yeah,
But
it's
then
like
there's the other ones, like you're saying, the other ones are like, nope, nope, doesn't resonate. Nope, doesn't vibe with me. I'm so not, it's like it, those are the ones you discard.
yeah.
They're the ones that are like, they're not for you, because, and this all came from you saying there isn't one size fits all.
Yeah.
So you are your own filter. You are your own assessment device. So that's the tip,
Yeah.
is to tap into the fact that you are the assessor of your energy. And that's how come we keep coming back and doing these podcast conversations, because we both know that something that really, really vibes with me and lights me up is not necessarily going to be for Deb, and vice versa. But we both love and respect each other enough to say, okay, I'm going to hold space for that. I'll take it on, take it under advisement,
Yeah.
right?
And I think the other thing is also, when you're the own assessor of your own world, absolutely. I think there's also the other part being, just because it doesn't fit right now, put it in your toolbox
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
Just go, well, that's weird as
Mm.
that's an odd one. Oh, I'd never do that. Just go, don't shut it down because of your ego. Or just go, okay, well, that's weird. It's not really for me. I don't know, but we'll just put it to the side and I'll just be aware of that. So you're still acknowledging it, but you just don't know when it's going to be needed. And I think that's the other thing, is don't shut everything down completely. Just go, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's
And
an
and
interesting point of view. Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, and you can still go, oh, that's weird as heck, and I'm not doing that, and da da da. Okay, but let me just, because they're the ones, and it's quite funny. The people who annoy you the most are usually the ones who become your closest friends when you first meet them. So I'm saying that generally because don't just shut it down because your ego's saying or whatever's saying, no, this is not right, da 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 da. But oh, okay, I'm just a bit curious about this one. I'll just park
Yeah,
it and we'll just see
curiosity,
what happens. Yeah.
curiosity. But you know that what you're saying there too is, there's a saying, and I often reference this saying, and I need to go and get it properly so that I can reference it properly. But basically, the statement says, "What is it that's pissing me off in you that I cannot see in myself?"
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
And so if I say something, you go, "Oh, Moira, you're talking." Yep.
Gibberish.
Yep. Um, then it's time to go, hey, wait, what just came up? What came up in me that I
Triggered
can't
that.
see, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I
That's all
think,
about being curious and being assessor of you. You are the captain of your ship. You're the
you
boss of
are.
you. Yeah.
And I think that's perfect because if we're talking about how to learn to be more resilient by calming your nervous system, just know, okay, now's not the time to look at this. I'm
Yeah.
going to park it.
Yeah.
And I think having that honesty, but don't shut every opportunity down just because of something or past or anything. Just be curious. So I think that's the other thing is just bring in that curiosity.
And so that's a good one, what you're just saying, being honest with yourself. This means to me also is telling yourself the truth about what your bandwidth is, right?
Mm,
Because
yeah.
sometimes you may not have the bandwidth to calm your nervous system in a certain way. Like maybe if I taught you a breathing technique that took 20 minutes and yet you only had 5 minutes, then
Yeah.
then it's you can't get resistant to the 20-minute thing. You can say, Kate, that's just not for me right now. What's the shortened version? So it's about being honest with yourself, because I don't know about you, but collectively we all need to spend much more time on calming our nervous system than we are actually used to doing. But I do also know that time obligations, if you've got a client waiting for you in a Zoom room, you have to be there.
Yeah.
So, but if you are feeling all nervous and jangling and got to do something. And so actually, if that is a scenario that you run into, I invite you to put one or both hands over your heart, feel your feet on the floor, feel your seat on the sitting, whatever you're sitting on, and take 2 deep breaths and then go into your have to, right? But that comes from being honest with yourself and being very present to what's going on, right?
Yeah, and I think, with this being honest with yourself gig, I think about this, and you know, the I would rather have the whole world against me than me against my own soul. Because the
Mhm.
truth is, take those 2 deep breaths and then go in the way you want it. Don't go in the way anyone else wants it. Go in the way that you want it, because if you are going against, oh, I shouldn't be doing this, and if you've got that internal dialogue, that is going to throw you right out. It's not going to be a very pleasant journey you're going to be on,
No, no.
if I can say it as nice as I can. And it's just going to throw you right out. So really just choose you. And I think, people are like, oh, but I've got to put my children first, or I've got to put my partner first. You don't. And it's more and more, because if your heart is not full, and you're not functioning in the day, you're going to be useless for anyone else. So you've really got to, Moira's taught me this, is you give people from your overflow
Yep,
of your cup that goes
yep.
into your saucer. And I think
Open
remembering
saucer.
that, yeah, and I think just remembering that just allows you to go, oh, you know what, my bandwidth is done. I
Mhm.
can't do anymore.
Yep.
And just being able to honestly say that. And the Prime Minister of New Zealand, Jacinda Ardern, when she decided to resign, and there was a whole lot of controversy around her, and well, there was blessings and crises around her, definitely,
Mhm.
but there was a lot of things going on, and she just said her bandwidth. She said,
Yep.
I'm resigning because my bandwidth is about to break. Like,
Right.
she could not
She
take any
couldn't
more.
take it. Yeah.
And I think just to her being honest, um, it definitely changed the perception in the media. From what I see, you're either a Jacinda lover or you're not. One of those things, you're either a you love your president or your prime minister or you don't. Like that's all there is to it. But I think there was a level of respect that happened when she said that, because no one questioned her. What specifically is your bandwidth? What specifically has broken you? There was nothing. It just went, okay, she's honorable enough to say, my bandwidth's done. I can't do any more. I'm not going to do the best I can. I'm going to hand it over. And it just allowed, to me, it just allowed people not to ask her. They were like, okay, wow. So I think when you're honest with yourself, and she probably had a strategy of when people ask her, but people just didn't ask. They just went, okay, if yours is enough, we understand. We're not going to try and twist your arm to stay here or anything. It just was like, it feels right. And I think that's that, going back to that being honest and being able to speak your truth, this is where I'm at. I can't do it anymore.
I
No
love that.
amount of bribery is going to get me there. But people just don't ask. People just didn't ask.
And
What specifically broke
nor
you?
should they, because she was being
No,
honest.
I know, but
Yeah,
she was just so honest and so straight to the point that it just shut down all of that chaos. And I was
yeah.
like, wow,
That's
people
pretty
didn't even want to
cool.
know what,
You've shared
yeah.
about that before, and I think um, two things came up for me while you were sharing that.
Mm.
One of them is just wanting to circle back to what we were talking about the bandwidth and the putting you first, choosing you first. My tip here is the PEMS check-in. So that's
Oh,
checking in with your physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. That your well-being on those four pillars is the epitome of you being resilient, of you
mm,
having a calm nervous system, of you
yeah.
being able to go with the flow. And it's imperative also for you to check in every day, multiple times during your day too, even because
Mm,
as we navigate through things and go through experiences and overcome challenges or sidestep certain things, it changes, shifts and
yeah.
changes, right? And so
Yeah.
being aware of how are you feeling on your physical, your emotional, your mental, and your spiritual well-being, that helps you. And then the other part that came to my mind, and it's probably a separate tip, is about being responsible, right?
Mm.
Because that is what you just it described with is it a prime minister? You have a prime
Yeah,
minister.
yeah, Prime Minister.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know it's Prime Minister, and you've got President.
No,
So
we
you've
have
got,
prime minister
oh,
also.
you're Prime Minister
It's
in
yes,
Canada,
president in the US.
America. Yeah.
Yeah. But you've shared that story before, and it to me that is a really beautiful example of just being responsible. I'm not here
Mm,
to get the approval of other people or get people saying, "Oh, what I did was right or wrong." It's like, no, this is my energy. And the other part too is if we overgive, if we are accustomed to not choosing ourselves first, which I resembled that. That's part of
yeah.
my own healing journey, is burning out because I wasn't educated to put me first. But you
Yeah.
see, if we keep going and going and going and giving from our cup rather than our saucer, resentment shows up at some point.
Hmm.
And it's
Yeah.
very difficult to be honorable and authentic and of service if you're resentful of the people that you are serving out of, I have to do this and I should do this and
Mm,
people are telling me this and I've given my power away, and right, that's not being honorable and responsible to and for yourself,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. And I think we worry what other people think. I think that's the other tip is if we're talking about calming your nervous system, you can't you can't fix others and you can't make it right for everybody.
Yep.
You have to choose what's best for you with the time. And I know Dr. John D. Martini talks quite a lot about universal laws, and he created one which I actually believed in for a few years, and it's called Law of the Lesser Pisses.
You've
And
said that before. Yeah.
and I'm like, wow, there's a law like that. And then one day I found out it was not true. It's made up, but I quite like it. And it's who are you going to peeve off, as I say that quotation, pisses, who are you going to peeve off the most? And it's just like you have to choose what feels right for you. And if you have to have 10, 20, 30 family members going against you because you do something that just feels right for your soul, you have to choose that, because the universe gives you so many slots, time slots, or so many slots to do things. And if you're constantly burning yourself out for others, something's gonna hit you. You know, your nervous system is gonna snap, bend, expand, go on fire. So it's those things. And remember the law the law of the lesser pisses. Sometimes it's easier to, and you think it's not, but sometimes it's easier to peeve off 30 people than actually your own self, because you're the one who has to make that decision, and it has to be right for you. I think just those things are a great reminder.
I do too, and that you've shared before about that, the law of lesser pisses.
Yeah.
But it also
I
makes me
believed
think.
it. I believed it was a legit law, and now I'm like, actually, it should be a law because it's so true. It should be.
But
Yeah.
it always makes me think of the thing that I've always said, is that other people's opinion of you
Yeah.
is none of your
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
Because that's the truth, is everybody's going to have an opinion. Oh, you should do it that way, and oh, you shouldn't do it that way, and oh, this person's this. Is like, that's actually none. It's when people have opinions of you, it's actually about them, not you,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So,
Yeah.
and I believe this is my, and I encourage our listeners to feel into this. I believe that becomes easier to step into the older we get.
Yeah.
I'm 60 now, and so I actually really can stand into this thing of, I don't care what you think of me. I like me. I am honorable. I am authentic. I am truthful. I am whatever I feel
Yeah.
like I am. And if somebody thinks, oh, you're a fibber, or
It's
you're
too
making
much.
things up, or you're too much, or you're too little, or it's
Yeah.
that's on you. Nothing to do with me.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because I was recently somewhere and someone goes, "Oh, but you can make those decisions. You're old. You're an old woman now."
Gee,
Just for the
thanks.
record, that person was 35 and I'm 53, and I didn't realize I was categorized into an old woman. An old woman to me is like an 85, 90-year-old was what I was thinking, but I was like, okay, so I'm way old. You're an old woman now.
You're an
But
old
I
woman
mean,
now.
I think
I
it
like
is that
that.
thing. Yeah. But if you can master this as a young woman or young man, just for the record, we're all young. But if you can master that and actually just go, no, this decision's the best for me.
Yeah.
This decision is best for me.
Mm.
Because I really want to do this. And
Mhm.
yes, it might hit other people, but I'm the one who has to make that decision at the end of the day. And I think just pulling yourself back to, and I know Maureen's got the three questions: is this good for me? Is this good for others? And do I want to do it?
Mhm.
Absolutely, absolutely. But the other thing is, if it's not good for others, but you still really, it feels right and they'll catch up, then do it.
Yeah.
Then do it, because if it's something that's been milling on your mind for 10, 15 years or something, just tick the bloody thing off. Like,
In the grand scheme of things, something like that to me would be, ultimately, it's good for others.
yeah,
Whether they can see it right now or not,
yeah,
ultimately, when because that's part of it. When we, that saying that says, there are no such thing as stupid questions.
yeah,
And the fact that if something's coming up, you've got a burning question and you think, oh gosh, that sounds like a really stupid question, I'm not going to ask it. Oh, and then the first person that asks the question, there's like a ripple of like, oh phew, I was going to ask
yeah,
that too, right? So
yeah.
it's
It
it's
is
like,
those things too. Yeah, yeah,
so it's like, don't judge, don't censor yourself based upon what you think other people think, right?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
sometimes that can be a detraction of, no, you following what really lights you up. What does yes feel like in you? When we
mm,
calm our nervous system, we are much more available to our insights, our own inner wisdom, our own,
yeah,
um, and that's where resilience comes from. Is like, I can flow, I can move, I can bend in the wind because
yeah,
I've calmed my nervous system and I receive the guidance. It's not all a bowl of chocolates. You know, there's discombobulation and upheaval. Let's face it, we do live in a chaotic time.
But we honestly, we wouldn't want it smooth. We don't
No.
want life smooth because if it's too smooth, we're not going to be able to understand if a hump does come.
Mm.
You
Yeah,
know, so
exactly.
we're going to be growing and learning,
But
Silly word, growing and learning, I think. Um,
we
you
do
know,
that through contrast.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I was thinking about this, learn to be more resilient by calming your nervous system. And for me, one of the things I do is I block out glitter time in my diary.
Mm.
And I've just returned from some crazy making time, some
Busy,
definitely
busy stuff.
a lot of travel, and so I actually just booked out this day, even though I've got a crazy week. I just blocked out a day and just went, I'm just going to have a day to make sure that no new people come in. I've
Mhm.
got a couple of things in there, but I just, at the moment, my head just went, I have to just make sure I'm recalibrating me and I'm still okay. This is 5 days after I land, just to ground myself back to, okay, you're not going to go straight back into the 110%.
Yeah.
You've got things bit by bit. And so I just literally blocked out Deb's glitter time. I have it as a standard thing in my diary that I
Mhm.
can just, it's a little pretty picture, pretty color that comes up in my Google Calendar. But I've just done that. So I really encourage people to actually block that time out. And whether that is, your glitter time is whatever, whether that is going outside and standing on the grass.
Mhm.
Or for me, it'll be walking around the garden going, oh, I need to pull that plant out. I need to do this, whatever it is. But it's getting myself away from the computer, from the phone, and actually just recalibrating me.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like for me. So block that time out, but honor it. If something urgent comes in, that's okay, but pick and choose if it's urgent enough that goes against that calming time for you. Is it
Yep.
more important than you time?
You're listening to Deliciously Motivated Mindset with Deborah and Moira, here to help listeners unlock their full potential so they can thrive, not just survive. They've shared some very powerful insights so far, so it's time to take a moment to breathe, reflect, and jot down any key takeaways. What's one piece of advice that stands out to apply right away? Before wrapping up, Deborah and Moira would love to hear from everyone. Reach out with thoughts, questions, or feedback, and drop your favorite tip from today's episode. They're inspired to see how listeners are putting these insights into practice. Let's dive back in and finish strong.
100%. And because I've often said this too, I think that I love doing something creative. I've always got a counted cross stitch pattern on the go. And even if it's only 5 or 10 minutes, I
Yeah.
still do something on that every single day because that's my reflection time, my
Mm,
contemplation, my just kind of it's a
yeah.
meditative, but it's creative, which to me that's soul nurturing, right?
Mm, yeah.
That and then actually I was mentioning this conversation that Deb and I had before we hit record here, because we were talking about that just sometimes for me, it could just be saying, okay, just gonna go watch a movie and just
Yes.
right. Because
It's giving yourself permission to do you, whatever
yeah,
you looks like, I
yeah,
think.
yeah. And isn't it sad that we have to give ourselves permission? Because this is the thing, is that is that we've talked about this in previous episodes. It's like, oh my gosh, what would somebody say if they knew that I was actually, going for an hour-long walk today? That I was,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
But these are all ingredients or components that falls into what you were saying about choose you first.
Yeah.
We must, and I've said this before too, we must be at the top of our own priority list. It's not a
Yeah.
negotiation. It's not oh, okay, I can do it once a week. It's like, nope, it's
No.
every single day, right?
It's essential. It's
Hmm.
essential. It's a given because it's just like eating. You have to do what works for you at this time. Not all food is going to land for you the same day every day. So you have to, have that toolkit of different possibilities that can
Yeah.
get through. And I think I'm going to say judgment. Be conscious of your judgment. I remember I was sick. I had a cleaner many, many, many years ago, and I was sick, and I got myself out of bed and I lay on the couch, and the cleaner arrived, and my head went, "Oh my God, I can't lie on this couch, um, being sick while the cleaner's here. I need to help her. I need to go do something." And I just said to her, "I'm sick," and I said, I can't get up." And she's like, "That's like Deborah, I wouldn't expect you to.
Yeah,
Are you
like
okay that
that's
I
what
clean
she's here
around you?"
for.
I know, but it was this little mindset. I remember it clearly, and I was like, hang on a minute. She's coming
Mm-hmm.
in to do a service. I'm paying her to do this. She loves doing this, so it wasn't anything. And it's not like I'm being lazy. My head went, oh my God, I need to be doing something while she's here. This is wrong. But there was a whole mindset that went on this journey of, oh no, Deborah, this is not good. You need to be doing, you can't be lying here when she's here.
Mm.
And I had to. I
You
had
had
to.
because you were
It's like
sick.
so yeah, because I couldn't even lift my head off the pillow that I'd maneuvered. But I think just be aware of that judgment on yourself and go easy on yourself. I think just being aware when it comes in, just go, okay, well, this is me right now, and this is what I need to do. That's all there is to it. And just be aware of that.
So I want to, because I think that comes up often. For
Mm.
you, where do you feel that that came from?
Oh, no. Most, oh, let's just say mum. Let's just say mum. Most likely mum.
Because it
And
was
I know you're gonna say the next part. Yep, yep.
what? What
Is
was
it true?
is it true? No, no, because I think it's a very important piece to get clear on where these types of beliefs or inherited paradigms come from. Because what you were
Mm.
reminding me of, and I think I've shared this with you guys before, is that the thing that came from me was that work needed to be work and it needed to be regimented and resilient. And you had to just, you're doing these tasks because if you started making it fun and having fun while you were doing it, then you weren't like putting your whole back into it. And that
Yeah.
came from my dad. That
Ah.
that it was this, oh, Moira's just playing. Actually, I even as I'm describing this to you, I can recall the exact thing that happened. We were chopping wood and stacking wood for the winter, and I was making it into a game.
Of
And
course you
to
were.
to dad's way of looking is like, why are you having so much fun? This is not fun. You gotta get your job done. So I'm wondering if things like that can impact us to the point of like, oh, no, I can't sit down and have a laugh or have some fun because I gotta be good. I gotta get that
It's those
job taken care of, right?
it's those inherited yeah, thoughts and actions where
Rules.
yeah, rules and boundaries and that. Um
So this is about being self-aware and you said it yourself. Is it true? Right? Is it
well, I have to
true that
giggle
every
because
task has to be
it,
serious?
it 100% will be mum. I've just been sitting here thinking about it because mum has this philosophy when she had a couple of sushi shops. Um, if you're leaning, you can be cleaning.
Oh,
So, so she's definitely like if any of the staff were leaning, they could be cleaning. So
right.
actually so I guess it's probably I'm gonna say yes, it's come from that
Mm,
because that's that cleaning, of course it had to be a cleaner. But
right.
but yeah, that was a saying that mum had.
That's
I
funny.
quite like that saying. I still use that saying, meaning don't stand around and do nothing.
Mm.
It's
But
that
then, of
that
course,
honestly.
so then it's so important right here in us talking about it is how does your nervous system feel? Because for
Yeah.
me, I do like to make things lighthearted and fun, and that's
Oh, well,
that's
people tell me stuff and I'm forever laughing. You still talk about,
oh
I'm going
my
to say, you
arm,
talk
my
about
broken
falling down
arm,
the
and she always
stairs.
cracks up.
And I can feel my body getting hot with the gigglies already. But yeah, so I laugh. I do laugh a lot. And
Mm,
I think that just knowing that calms my nervous system in
yeah,
a way. I'm not laughing at you because it's a horror. Like, I'm not laughing to hurt you. It's laughing
No.
because it's just like, oh no, that must have been really bad. Like, tell me about it.
But no, you're right. And so that actually increases your resilience, but it calms your nervous system. Of course, you have to be mindful of who you're laughing, who you're laughing in front of, because that might actually be seen as a bit of a
You would be disappointed if you told that story and I didn't laugh. You'd go, "Are you okay, Deborah? Did
yeah,
you
it's
hear
like,
me?"
what's up with
Like,
you? That's true.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But the piece here, and I hope you take from this, dear listeners, that it's about being very conscious and aware of the inner impulses, the oh, you shouldn't be doing this or you should be doing that, is where
Mm,
did it come from, is it in alignment with what's right for you right here, right now? And
yeah,
navigate and gravitate towards the things that do feel soothing and calming. And where does yes sit right in my heart? And take a deep breath. And even when I say that to you, I put my hand on my heart. And that to me is the the keystone, if you like, of being
mm,
resilient. Because I don't have all the answers. I don't know all the best ways through and around, and but I will recognize them. I have faith in myself. I've overcome and come through
mm.
some
I
pretty
think,
rough phases in my life, and I'm
yeah, I
here.
think, I think when we were just saying about that, it's never too late to jump off the train.
Mm,
People were like, "Oh, I couldn't. I was already in. I couldn't. We're driving there. I couldn't say no when we're driving there. You can.
you
You
can.
can. Like, it's never too late to stop and just assess."
Hmm.
And I think that's that thing. You know, well, says somebody. I'm thinking about. I was literally just thinking about the married. Well, I don't want to get married. I don't want to get married. I don't want to get married. And then it's happening. You're getting married. Like, everyone's there. It's never too late. So I just really want to emphasize it's never too late to stop, pause, and reflect.
Yeah.
And it may just take 5 minutes to go, is this really for me? Is
Yes.
this what I want? Or am I overthinking anything, like any of that stuff? So is this really for me? It's never too late.
I like that. Is this for me? Um, is this for me? Is this true for me? Because that right there,
Mm,
it's so important to come into, is this the right choice for me? Yes or no?
yeah.
And and to your point, if we allow ourselves to be dragged along by expectations or shoulds,
Mm,
there's going to be some resentments and things are going to break and fall apart and go chaotic, and it could end up being you being the one that looks like, well, you allowed it to happen.
yeah.
You
Yeah. Well, you
didn't tell me
started
that you
this.
didn't like this. You didn't tell
Yeah.
me that this didn't vibe with you.
Yeah.
So sometimes when we avoid those conversations that we might think are too uncomfortable, it's too uncomfortable to say no, press the brakes, let me out,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That sometimes it's the gift of what is possible is by you being staying in integrity and being willing to say, you know what, I need to speak from my own authentic self here,
Yeah.
right?
And it doesn't, people say it takes courage to step up and speak, but it actually doesn't. It takes more, it's a more soul destroyer to sit in a place without speaking.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
so just be aware of that. Um,
Always remembering that you are worthy of you speaking your authentic truth,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
That's
yeah.
my closing one.
I think, yeah. I know we're wrapping this up. I've just written down, "You are worthy," to end it. But we're going to have a little teabag quote at the end.
But of
That's
course.
most likely just literally just going to say, "You are worthy." So let's wrap this up. and go back through the tips that we've gone into a more condensed version. So this is our learn to be more resilient by calming your nervous system. And grab that note-taking device Moira suggested at the start, because these are going to be in a more bullet point, quicker version than our stories.
Less
But
stories.
step number one is heart coherent. You know, Moira did the heart coherent exercise at the start. Step one is your heart coherent, and that instantly pulls you back to the heart coherent, and you always have time to do it. I'm just going to add that little bit in there.
Yes. Yes, you do. Even
You do.
during the storm, you can still do it.
Yeah, that's it.
The next one we talked about was trust. Trusting that even if you think, oh gosh, Moira and Deb, you guys always talk about this heart resilient thing. Put your hand on your heart and breathe. Nah, just do it.
Yeah.
Just trust. Even if you don't feel it at the moment. Actually, this is reminding me of a client that used to say, when she actually did completely get into the technique, but she would say, oh, for goodness sake, it means I have to walk around all day, every day with my hand on my heart. Well, so be it.
Yes,
Yes.
you do. Yes, you do. We also, one of the tips we had at the start was about one size does not fit all.
Mhm.
So what we're giving you today, and every day, just choose what one feels right for you and go with it, and then go to another one if you need it.
Yeah.
Just know that some land, some don't, but it's part of that, going back to that trust of that it's landing
Trusting
in.
that you feel drawn to it for a reason. Yep.
Yeah.
The next one we had was, I talked about you being the assessor of your energy, and we talked about being curious. How does this make me
Yeah.
feel about me? It's one of my favorite questions.
Mm.
So I encourage you to implement that. How does doing this technique make me feel about me? We're looking for, it makes me feel resilient. It makes me feel calmer. It makes me feel aligned with my heart or with my soul. So
Yeah.
only you can be the boss of that. Only you
Yeah.
can assess it and say yes and no. Right?
Yeah. Which goes into that honesty,
Yeah.
which was that it's about being honest with what's your bandwidth
Mhm.
and what you can take on today, and don't take on more than you think you can just out of obligation, but just be honest. What is your bandwidth? And I talked about the Prime Minister of New Zealand, the ex-Prime Minister of New Zealand, you know, and when you're honest, people just accept that.
Yep.
You know, when
Yeah,
she said
because
my
there's no
bandwidth,
wobble.
no, it's just, this is it. I can't take any more. And people, there's just a level of respect that comes into that. Yeah.
And that's when you talked about, you said choose you first. And that's imperative.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I've got hand on heart, 2 deep breaths before that one.
Yeah, those ones all felt like they were all melded into.
One. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which then led into me saying about the PEMS check-in, checking in with
Yeah.
yourself on your physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual well-being. I always see those as like the legs of a table. If you want a nice, solid, grounded, dependable table, all 4 of those pillars must be looked after, and looked after to equal measure, because otherwise you're going to have a tippy table.
Yeah,
Right?
a tip table. Yeah. Yeah, I love the PEMS, and it's just often it goes, oh, well, that explains it. That means I've had lack of sleep, so that now I understand why I'm not 100% present. Yeah. The next one I have here is being responsible.
Mhm.
Be responsible for your own actions. Take your own accountability. Don't blame others. You're the one who has to make the decisions at the end of the day. So just be responsible for your life choices. And that allows you also to take your own power back.
Absolutely. And that's where we also talked about making sure when you're being responsible, you're giving from your saucer, not your cup. So you're doing the PEMS check-in allows you to fill your cup first and foremost, but then you give from the overflow. And it's never, it's like, doesn't run out that way, right?
No, no, it doesn't.
No.
The next one I have is glitter time.
Oh, okay. You
Am I-
skipped a few.
Have we
Glitter
skipped a
time.
few? Okay, okay. We're gonna catch up here, and this is why we have two of us doing a podcast. By the way, people, glitter time. Make sure you're doing what lights you up every day,
Mhm.
and blocking that time and honoring that time for yourself.
Doing something that's fun just for the sheer joy of it is so
Yeah.
important. That's where I was talking about. That's when I do my cross stitching every day and play with my cat as well
And I
every day.
haven't done my cross stitching since I left, so it's
Oh
like still
no.
sitting there. Yeah, still sitting there.
The one that you skipped over was the where I say other people's opinion of me is none of my business, and that's when you talk about the law of lesser pisses.
Oh yes, I did.
But it's about we do all seem to have a bit of a people pleasing. We want to be approved, we want to be accepted, we want to have people like us. And that's when we were talking about our age. I've become more and more of like, you know what, if you don't like me or you don't approve of my choices, that's fine. I'm good with that. It's
Yeah.
actually nothing to do with me. It's more to do with the person that's saying, oh, you should or shouldn't do it that way, right? It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's fine. Have fun.
Yeah. And I think, yes, yes. Well, the next one I have is judgment, about being gentle on
Mhm.
yourself.
Yeah.
And you're the one who has to sleep again at night in your own bed with your own actions and thoughts. So just be gentle on yourself and just go, and I often think about how I brought my daughter up. I would bring my daughter up differently with certain things now, as another 25 years on, who I
Mm.
was back then. So be gentle on yourself and just know that you're making the decisions that are best for you at that moment. So be aware of that judgment on yourself.
Such an important piece is to always, it's so important to always acknowledge we are always doing the best we can with what we know.
Yeah.
However, if this version of you who has 25 years of experience and
Mm,
wisdom looks at that previous version of you and say, "Oh, I screwed up. I
yeah.
did it bad, did it wrong." That's actually a form of self-abuse that's really sticky and yucky
Mm,
and just it's not okay. So it's
yeah.
about really um standing in the present moment and not no also noticing, because when you were talking about that, noticing, is this an inherited belief? Is it true? You know, it's like, oh, if
Yeah.
I should have done something different, is that really true? And
Yeah.
is that my dad talking? Is that your mom talking?
Yeah. That's what
Right?
I'm talking about. Yeah. Well, actually, I'm just going to add a couple more tips in here very quickly,
Mhm.
just as we
Of
do,
course,
because as
as
Moira
you do.
was saying that, I went, we're not celebrating and being grateful.
Ah, yes. Yes.
And and this is why you want to listen to the end, people, because we do add a little bit in. But when these wobbles come up, we can celebrate, oh, I've got something to work on. And then
Yeah.
be grateful for it. Like really truly be grateful in your heart that I have something to look at because this person's triggered me or this thought's triggered me. And really celebrate that. But be thankful that this
Mm.
has come up for you to experience and dig in. Even if you feel you don't have time, you've always got time. But please be grateful for the things that come your way and the things that don't come your way at this particular time. But be thankful for those experiences and celebrate it that you've got something to work on.
I like that. That reminds me, because, and I did say it earlier in this conversation, is that statement that says, "What is it that's pissing me off in you that I can't see in myself?" That is a
Yeah.
gift. That's a
Mm,
gift. That's a thank you. Thank you for pissing
100%.
me off, so that I had
That
the
I can now look at what
invitation
this
to
is.
look at that. Yeah,
Yeah.
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 The last one I have here is that part of saying worthiness. You are worthy. You are worthy of speaking your truth, speaking with your authentic voice, and saying,
Yeah.
"Is this for me? Is this for me?" Actually, that's a something that I picked up just recently, and I have it up as a post-it note. I mentioned post-it notes earlier, and so I have this over here. It says, "Is this discord or life force?" So when
Ooh.
something comes in, a challenge, a question, an opportunity, is this discord? Is it a wobble? Or is it life force?
Yeah.
Because let's face it, it could still be life force, even if it was a little bit tumultuous and shoot things up. But just pause and ask, is this discord or life force? And go from there. There, see,
Yeah.
I snuck another one in too.
I love that. And well, yeah, as we do, as we do. But it's the other one I have here is actually it's never too late to stop.
Oh, right. Yes.
You
To
can
jump off the
stop the
train.
you can stop, yeah. It's never too late to add a tip in there, or a stretch in there. And being aware of that, I think, just allows you to again calm your farm.
Yeah.
Calm your farm for that. But it's never too late to stop. Have you got any more, Moira?
No, that was all I had.
Okay, so have you got a tea bag?
I do have a Yogi Tea Bag quote, and this
Okay,
is a
perfect.
really good one. You thought it was going to be about worthiness, but it's actually more appropriate to the entire title.
Oh, really? Okay.
Inner peace creates peace in the world.
Oh,
See, when you calm your nervous system, you're getting inner peace, and inner
yeah,
peace creates peace in the world. I think
yeah, that's lovely.
that's a beautiful one.
Yeah, that's a grounding one for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Woohoo! Well, listeners, take that. Take that. How did that go to be? Learn to be more resilient by calming your nervous system. That's well and truly landed. Well and
Mm-hmm.
truly landed
Definitely.
in a beautiful space. So, as you know how we wrap this up, I'm going to ask you this little question that's going to leave you. Are you playing the game of life to the fullest? Do. Are you learning to be more resilient by calming your nervous system? So, we've given you some tips. We've given you some strategies, some that you'll like, some that you won't like, and you'll use them or won't use them, and it's okay. But even if you just take one, just for
Mhm.
today, just take one and roll that out for the next 24 hours and see how that works.
Hmm.
See how that works because you're never too old or too young to start implementing change in your world. Clearly, because you're here listening to us.
Yep.
So I'd love you to think about from how you've learned to be more resilient by calming your nervous system. What's that one action step that you're going to take today that's going to help you achieve your inspiration? What is that one you're going to take today? And share it with us. We'd love to know. We'd love to know what works, what doesn't,
Hmm.
because we are going to do this ourselves. I'm going to take the judgment one. I'm going to be gentle on myself. I'm going to watch myself have judgment today because I've got a very highly packed calendar day. So I'm going to watch and just see what that one lands for me. So do let us know. Moira, what's your one? I'm just going to ask Moira. She's like, thanks for asking me.
Whoops. Um, I think I'm going to work on the trust one.
Oh, beautiful.
Trust. Yeah. Trust. And some of our listeners will hear me say this before, trust is an inside job. So
Yeah,
if
as
there's
soon as you
a,
said trust, I went, it's an inside job.
yep.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I just feel like that trust, everything's taking part as it ought to for my best and highest good. Yes.
Nice, nice. See, it's not that hard, listeners. Just make a decision and roll it out. Roll it
Yep.
out just for today. So that's our deliciously motivated mindset conversation slash podcast slash combo. Learn to be more resilient by calming your nervous system. Ooh la
Mm-hmm.
la. Thank you
Beautiful,
very
beautiful.
much, listeners, for taking note, listening, engaging, getting to the very end, and then finding out that there's more tips. We'll just throw those ones in there. But thank you for that. Thank you to the internet for working. Thank you to me being home and the internet's working. I'm just going to say that one
Yes.
right now. And thank you, Moira, for showing up with your purple hair.
My purple
I
hair.
love just listeners, if you haven't seen, you got to get onto her socials and see her purple hair. It's pretty freaking phenomenal. I'm a little bit
I'm
envious of it. Yeah,
I love my purple hair.
it's pretty cool.
Thank you. Thank you, dear
Thank,
Deb.
thank you,
Thank you,
listeners.
listeners. We'll catch
Perfect.
you next
Thanks,
time.
team.
Okay.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.
Thank you for tuning into Deliciously Motivated Mindset with Deborah and Moira, where the mission is to help listeners unlock their full potential and thrive, not just survive. As the episode comes to a close, they trust you've gained some powerful insights. If you haven't already, take a moment to reflect on one key takeaway that you'll apply right away. Before we wrap things up, Deborah and Moira would love to hear from you. Reach out with thoughts, questions, or feedback and drop your favorite tip from today's episode. They're inspired to see how you're putting your insights into action. Thanks for listening, and remember to keep thriving.